Hey there, hi there, ho there. How's everybody doing out there in podcast land? It is time for the latest, the greatest episode of your favorite politically incorrect sports commentary podcast. We've been going since the early 90s, baby, and there ain't no stopping us now.
Hells no.
That is your favorite uncle. He's the one that sneaks a beer to you under the table at Thanksgiving. That is the conquistador, Dave Height.
And that is your other favorite uncle who'll slip you the magazine you shouldn't have. The maestro, Kevin Crane.
Yes, they have magazines like that still, right?
I think
they tried to get rid of Playboy,
know.
And then there was protests, and finally they brought Playboy back. Remember, they tried to make it like Maxim?
Yes, where they
no
took
nudity.
away the nudes.
No nudity.
Sales tanked, and then they had to bring it back. So,
but we digress in a good way. Did we mention how much we love Sydney Sweeney? Oh, that was last week.
Yes.
Sorry.
Did you get your jeans?
She has good genes, yes. And now I heard that Beyonce has put out an ad that's very suggestive as well. So now we got this kind of awesome, sexy war going on.
Whatever works,
yeah.
kids.
And of course,
Whatever
this stuff
works.
would all be normally for the weekend edition, but feeling a little loosey-goosey this week. So whatever we want to do, we're going to do, goddammit.
Yep.
So
we're going to do it and do it well.
We're going to start off with baseball because, as you know, you listen to this podcast every Wednesday night bleeding into Thursday morning. We just missed the trade deadline. And last week we were bemoaning the fact that there wasn't any activity. And then, boy, did it explode on Thursday.
Deal after deal.
All right, I'm going to run down real quick all the deals not involving our two teams. And then we'll get to them afterwards. So you had third baseman Eugenio Suarez, who was the prize third baseman out there. Power bat.
Would have looked really good in Cubby Blue.
Goes from the Diamondbacks back to Seattle, where he just played recently. And now Seattle's looking very impressive. Starting pitcher Shane Bieber goes from Cleveland to Toronto. Don't know yet when he's gonna pitch. Supposedly he's gonna be ready at some point for the playoff push, but he's been injured. I believe Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, he's got to be gearing back up.
And the interesting thing, always, about the trade deadline is a team like Cleveland, where they actually trade one of their big name players away, again, injured, and then they go on a run. Now they're back in the wild card hunt. Relief pitcher Kyle Finnegan, who I wanted for the Cubs before the goddamn season started. No, we're going to get Ryan Presley. How's that working out for you? Kyle Finnegan goes from the Nationals to the Tigers. So now at least the Tigers, even though they're scuffling, have shored up their back end of their bullpen. Not a big trade, but Harrison Bader goes from Minnesota to Philadelphia. Minnesota is a problem with what they did at the trade deadline. They have now become the latest poster child for bailing for years, basically, on a fan base.
Yes, they have become the new Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, they gutted their roster. I can't remember ever seeing a team get rid of as many active players as they did.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And they probably would have traded their star player, Buxton, if he wasn't injured. Now, the A's, they didn't gut the roster. They've got a lot of really good young players, but they don't want to pay anybody yet. So two guys that they were going to end up looking at paying, closer Mason Miller, starting pitcher J.P. Sears, who was another guy I wouldn't have mind having on the Cubs.
It would have been a lot better than who they got.
They both go to the Padres. The Padres bullpen is stellar now.
They're going to be tough.
Closer David Bednar goes from the Pirates to the Yankees.
The Yankees are such a hot fucking mess.
Oh, we're going to talk about the Yankees. Yes, we'll get to them. I have a little soliloquy for you people about the Yankees. Center fielder Cedric Mullins goes from the Orioles to the Mets, helping them out, giving them some outfield depth, and they also are not doing very well right now, the Mets.
No, they are not.
Mets lost again today, and they were being no-hit, I believe, into the ninth inning by Cleveland. Again, Cleveland's playing some good baseball now. Addition by subtraction sometimes. Another guy I would have loved to have had on the Cubs, starting pitcher Merrill Kelly, goes from the Diamondbacks to the Rangers. And then Carlos Correa goes back to Houston from the Twins. So again, Minnesota. You keep hearing Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You had relief pitcher Camilo Doval. Very, very good closer. He goes from the Giants to the Yankees. And it's amazing. The Yankees have all these top-level closers, yet
they don't do anything for them.
Today was the first day. Bednar actually closed out the game against Texas. They won. So maybe now he's going to be the next guy up. The thing that, and again, we're going to get to the Yankees in a minute, but just let me say this while it's on my mind. That prick, Devin Williams, who they brought over from Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a brilliant team, by the way. Brilliantly run, brilliantly managed. That's why they're the best team in baseball. And yes, I'm saying that about my bitter division rival. Is because they knew this guy wasn't all there. They got everything they could out of him, and then they shipped him off to the Yankees. And then what's the first thing the guy does? You need to change your policy and let me grow a beard.
Yeah, bullshit.
And then they caved on that, and now the guy can't even make it through one season as their closer. So now I would imagine it's going to be either Bednar or Doval to take over as closer for the Yankees. Another really good relief pitcher, Griffin Jacks, goes again from Minnesota to the Rays. The Rays, very interesting how the Rays were selling.
A couple of moves.
Yeah, they were selling, but then they were buying. You know, they were shifting,
trading pieces,
shifting and moving pieces around. So those are the major moves that we saw over the final day when it comes to the trade deadline, except, of course, for our teams. Now, of course, Dave had been badgering me for weeks. You guys need to take Adrian Hauser off our hands. Well, Adrian Hauser ends up going to the Tampa Bay Rays. Because the Cubs, the brilliant front, we just extended Jed Hoyer because he's so smart. So unbelievably smart.
No, he does the owner's bidding.
And I know you've told me that. You listen to The Score, so you know more about this than I do. But what did we hear all through the early months of 2025 and the late months of 2024?
Oh, we're holding off on spending any more on free agents because we have to have money to be able to pay guys at the trade deadline.
And so, do the Cubs spend money at the trade deadline? No.
What were their biggest needs? They needed a power-hitting third baseman. They needed an ace-level starting pitcher. And they needed a reliable bullpen arm.
Yep.
And what did they get?
Garbage and cast-offs is what they got. And I looked on Spot Track the day after the trade deadline. The Cubs still had $15 million to play with. $15 million. And again, people get confused about the trade deadline. Remember, you're not paying the full year's salary.
No,
you're paying a third of it. Right, basically a third.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you picked up Eugenio Suarez, you're only going to end up paying him what, $6 million for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Seriously, come on.
That's a guess. I'm not sure what. I think he's getting paid about 18. I think that's what he's getting.
Yeah. You needed a starting pitcher. They get Mike Soroka, who had an over 4 ERA. He was, 0-10 with the Nationals?
And he couldn't even make it through 2 innings before he felt shoulder tightness and had to get pulled. Nobody in the front office seemed to acknowledge the fact that until after this happened.
Well, he's had declining velocity all season. We thought maybe it was something in the mechanics we could work with.
Yeah, now Jed Hoyer's saying, that was probably not a good move on our part. Wait, it's a little late now, Jed. It's a little late now. But he's got job security now.
Yeah, that's great.
I have said this for the last 3 weeks. What is it with these Chicago teams? What is it with these Chicago teams?
What the hell did Getz want for Luis Robert?
Where they couldn't trade him. Yeah.
They wanted way too much for a guy who has not lived up to any of his potential. Now, granted, he's still under another year of control. Really, you think you guys are going to make that much of a difference? Granted, you've been playing very well since the break. But come on.
Yeah, so the whole Mike Soroka deal from the Nationals is a disaster already for the Cubs. I doubt we're ever going to see Soroka again in a Cubs uniform. He's probably going to be shut down for the rest of the year. I can't believe he's going to come back in 2 months.
What a mess.
With, again, like you said, obvious declining velocity. I thought the stat geeks were supposed to be the ones monitoring this and getting in the general manager or the president of baseball operations ear and saying, hey, that's a red flag right there, guys.
Oh,
Stay
but he's
away.
cheap. And we're not going to have to give up a lot of our farm system because we need to keep control of our prospects. You have prospects to get the stud players in return. That's the whole point of building your farm system. Yes, you keep a few of them that you want, but some you actually have to let go to bring in the pieces that will push you over the finish line.
Yeah, so then we got Andrew Kittredge. That's the bullpen arm from Baltimore. Now, kudos to him today.
The immaculate inning?
Yeah, as we tape here on August the 6th.
A day after getting his ass booed off the field, literally.
But here's the thing. Now, number one, I don't think he should take that personally. No. I think the fans are booing the front office.
They're booing the front office. They're booing the hitters, who have absolutely disappeared.
The offense has collapsed.
See, here you go. Was the beginning of the year the aberration? Because right now, you are seeing the same inept Cubs offense that you've seen now 4 years running.
Yep.
The offense disappears at the end of the year. After the break, poof, they don't show up. Yes. This is what you get, the definition of insanity. You keep running the same guys out there, expecting them to overperform, and they don't.
Well, they won't listen to us.
And what the hell are they doing with PCA? He's hitting for shit right now.
Yeah, and now, of course, what's the solution for him and Kyle Tucker? They're sitting them now. Well, you guys need a day off or 2 days off this week.
That's great, but you don't have a damn bench worth a hill of beans.
No, that's the other guy they picked up. Was Willie Castro, the utility infielder from the Twins. Yeah. He's been playing every day.
He's played a different position every day since they got him.
Which is fine. Out of the 3 guys they traded for, I think they got another reliever who I could care less about. But Castro's the only one that's actually been able to step in and play something of an integral role here in the last week.
Turner's been useless, except, he got the walk-off home run the other night. Yeah, he's useless otherwise. Birdie, what the hell is he good for?
Yeah, no, I'm sick of it. I am so sick of the Cubs.
It's
they're getting
bullshit.
the 2027 All-Star game, Dave. So now Ricketts is ecstatic. He's already counting the money.
Yeah.
And he's like, now I got another reason to not spend money because now I know I'm going to get a windfall in 2 years. So screw the fans because we know they're going to pack the place in 2 years for the All-Star game. He's walking a very, very high-wire tightrope situation with this because I'm telling you, I'm sick of it. I've already swore off ever giving any money to the Marquee Network. And by the way, kids, stick around to the end of the episode because we have got an epic last call discussing sports media.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy.
So we're going to skip dumbasses this week and head right on into this mammoth last call involving ESPN, obviously, Fox, all of the big networks, and all of the streaming services.
And the NFL.
But as a Cubs fan, and I know you're not a Cubs fan, and thank you as always for you filling the gaps, because you listen to the radio out of Chicago, and I won't. I just can't. But again, we were told all off-season as Cubs fans, we're going to save this money, this $20 million, and we're going to keep it in our pocket so we can make a big splash at the trade deadline.
All through the season, we're going to make a big move to put us over the top. We're going to make a move. Crickets until you get mere weak pieces.
Terrible pieces. One already injured. And the other two aren't going to make that much of an impact.
No, it's typical Chicago stuff.
One other thing, talking about the decline of the offense, right? Again, let's not blame the managers.
No,
because now
the players are not doing anything.
It's a pattern that has now existed from Council back through David Ross. It's, as you said, the same pattern year in and year out. I don't know if these guys lose their confidence because the front office never does anything to help them, or like you said, you know how much I love Ian Happ, note sarcasm, and his .230 batting average.
What the hell happened to Dansby Swanson? I thought he was supposed to be a good hitter.
Dansby Swanson he doesn't bother me. He's going to hit .250 and hit 25 home runs, but he's a solid defensive shortstop. I'll take that. Nico Horner's not going to hit for power, but he's going to hit .290, .295, which in this day and age is going to end up being in the top 10 at the end of the year in terms of batting average. But the rest of them are garbage. Like you said, what are we doing at third base? Oh, John Birdie was initially our third baseman.
Oh, but now we got Shaw there, and
another guy.
Right now, Shaw's got the best batting average on the team.
Yeah, over the past couple weeks, maybe. And not overall.
No, not overall.
But
where's King Tuck? The great Justin Tucker, who wants $500 million plus. He ain't going to get it based on what's going on right now.
Not Justin Tucker.
Or not, no.
He's out getting a massage.
The kicker,
No, Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker.
No, that's who I was going to bring up next. Is that now you're stuck with yet another quandary. Because like you said, he's going to want Vladimir Guerrero money, who is overpaid now.
Yeah. The thing is, Toronto had to overpay to keep somebody of any quality. Because nobody wants to play up there because of the tax situation.
And now look at them. Between him and Bo Bichette, and then when he's healthy, George Springer, their first place team. Their winning percentage is top 3 in baseball. So it's finally turning around for them.
Yeah.
But Vlad Guerrero Jr. has been with the Blue Jays since the beginning.
Right. They wanted to keep a superstar.
Yeah. We gave away a third baseman, a prospect, a hitting prospect, and a pitching prospect for 1 year of Kyle Tucker. And we were promised, oh, you're not going to believe what this guy can do. So we're all expecting 100 RBIs, 40 home runs. He's got 18 home runs, I believe, right now. He is mired in an awful power slump. He's hitting 275. Bad.
He's been not good.
And now what are you going to do? You're going to let him walk and get nothing for him? What did I say a month ago, Dave?
Trade him to get something.
Because they're not going to give him $500 million. They're too cheap. And that's, I'm telling you, the fans aren't that stupid. The fans will revolt. You just gave an extension to the idiot who put us in this situation to begin with.
It's pretty bad.
All right, we can't spend any more time on the
Kyle Tucker is 51st in batting average at 271.
Yeah.
Nico Horner is 18th at 292.
Yeah. And I know Nico he hits 4 or 5 home runs a year, but he runs the bases well, he fields well.
He's a great defensive player.
Yeah. And Dave and I value guys who can actually put the ball in play and get hits.
Yes.
So, yes, the Cubs they did win today. They are 66-48, which in and of itself is not a bad record. I believe it's 4th in baseball, all of baseball, but they're still now 3.5 behind the Brewers because they just can't keep up with the Brewers.
No, the Brewers are playing very good ball. They've got the best record in baseball right now.
Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Yep.
As we record. Your White Sox, as you said, been playing better lately.
Yep, 42-71. Still 23 back in the division, but looking semi-promising.
I think it's down to 22.5 because the Tigers lost today. Yeah, the Tigers did lose today.
So, but then you got those pesky Rockies sitting at 30-83. They've been playing well. Some of the bottom-feeding teams have been playing very well since the break. Guys have been traded and moved, and you got hungry young players wanting to prove that they belong in the bigs.
Yep, the Rockies at 30-83 as we keep track every week. That's a winning percentage of .265. They are on pace for 43-119.
Yep, leaving the Sox as the worst team ever.
I'm rooting for the Rockies to fail. I want your White Sox out of the record books as quick.
That would be nice.
I know you need that. You need that. I'm rooting for you.
So I need them down there to get rid of fucking Reinsdorf and Getz, who supposedly was in charge of minor league player development and didn't do his damn job.
Now, again, we'll be discussing ESPN a little bit more later, but if we can trust their statistics, as of 6:30 tonight, again, August the 6th, in our 300 hitters count, I've got us at 9.
Still at 9 from last week. I checked this morning, and it hasn't changed from the afternoon games.
Yep.
Now, Judge coming back did drop from 342 down to 339.
Yeah, but you got a nice little cluster of players there hovering right around 300.
Yep. Yeah, you got Mikhail Garcia at 300, Bo Bichette at 301, Manny Machado at 302. Then you got Xavier Edwards sitting at 298, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at 296, along with Jose Ramirez and Sal Frelick. So
they could move up, other guys can move down.
Yep, it's still in there, but still single digits.
Yep. Now, again, I like to toot our horn, so toot to Dave and I, because it wasn't looking good earlier this year, but our pick to win the American League pennant is starting to come alive.
The Red Sox starting to make a move.
And God forbid, are you listening to this, Jed Hoyer, Tom Ricketts? God forbid you develop these players, they end up being good, and you lock them up early. Roman Anthony, who I believe the Red Sox just brought up earlier this year, has now already secured an 8-year, $130 million extension.
Yep, don't have to worry about him.
So they've got, I believe, a nice young core of players locked up through 2030. Boy, it'd be nice if I had a team like that. Oh, by the way, have you kids been watching what Kyle Schwarber's been doing? Yeah, that was a guy the Cubs let walk. And now he might be the only challenger to Shohei Ohtani for the NL MVP. God help me, I hope he gets it, because I don't need another year of Ohtani.
No, not at all.
The greatest player of all time.
Balls.
Well, it was supposed to be a massive, awesome spectacle celebrating baseball and racing.
Oh, God.
Last Saturday night, the Speedway Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway with an attendance of 91,032. Ha, ha, ha. Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball screwed the pooch again, man.
This should be the dumbass of the week. You do not have the concessions available for a crowd like that. NASCAR Speedway allows fans to bring in their own food and drinks.
Yes, if you guys have not heard.
Major League Baseball, oh no, fans can't bring in their own food and drinks. Idiot! Oh my God, an absolute clusterfuck.
Yeah, of course, rain came into play. The game eventually was suspended and then was finished on Sunday.
With maybe the quarter of the crowd back?
Yeah, but social media, people posting left and right pictures of what the food options were. Hot dogs with no buns.
Oof.
Nacho chips with no cheese.
Oof.
And then, of course, they were, the most important thing, running out of beer, I heard.
Major League Baseball fucked the pooch badly.
Didn't they consult with NASCAR and ask them, how do you handle this?
Yeah.
How do you handle a crowd like this?
Vending. How does this work?
Yeah.
You would have thought, expecting huge crowds like that, the infrastructure would have been put in place. That there would have been enough supplies on hand.
Well,
but
again,
no.
We've got to run everything. So here's what I would have suggested. I would have said to Rob Manfred and his goons, talk to NASCAR, and then NASCAR tells them what you just said. We let people bring food in from the outside, and if baseball says, no, we can't do that, then NASCAR comes back and says, then you better have truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of beer and buns and hot dogs and nacho cheese, because you're going to need it.
And you better have the food trucks set up everywhere around and allow people in and out.
Yep.
Because the infrastructure is not there.
So again, congratulations to Major League Baseball, note sarcasm, for taking what should have been a major celebration of the sport and completely fucking it up.
Which again brings me to a rant. Stop the fucking gimmicks.
Yep. Now it's time for to wrap up baseball for the week. My little Yankees soliloquy. I felt, believe it or not, I have a heart. It is not a blackened chunk of coal. It is a heart. So I did feel a pang of regret last week. As your Uncle Dave was telling me, no, you're just going through the stages of grief with Ryne Sandberg. Don't beat yourself up. But I felt bad about tearing into New York fans and the New York media for not giving Ryne Sandberg his proper respect as one of the greatest second basemen of all time. That lasted about 5 minutes before I realized Nah, I was right. Now you have your own bone to pick.
Fuck ESPN. Again. They're doing 50 states in 50 days, talking about all the states and their sports teams and whatnot. And so I did not get to see it personally, but hearing reports, people, oh, Illinois, just done. Great. Let's see what they cover. Get through Chicago sports teams. Oh, the Bears won in 85. Blackhawks, they had their great run. Cubs ended their huge drought in 2016. Oh, off to commercial. Third time in the last year ESPN has done something on Chicago sports, either about the team's championships or in dealing with the coverage of Bobby Jenks, ignoring the fact that the Sox won a World Series in 2005. Completely ignoring them. Idiots! Absolute morons over there. Is ESPN now stand for exclude the Sox per normal?
They've got, again, stay with us all the way through to the end. You will not regret listening to Last Call, where your two favorite uncles will definitely tee off on ESPN and all these other media conglomerates for basically destroying sports.
Yep, we'll discuss that on Spotify, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Amazon, Audible, iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby, and the UB2B.
Don't forget to check out the Facebook page as well. We're getting close, kids. Getting close to where not only will you see our weekly baseball picks and our weekly NASCAR picks, but our weekly football picks.
Weeks away.
Yep. And by the way, what a clusterfuck August the 31st is going to be.
Oh my God.
Because Labor Day's coming early this year. That Sunday will feature Miami Notre Dame, the Southern 500, and WWE Clash at the Castle. All at the same time.
Oh, that's going to be a brutal, brutal one.
Now, going back to the Yankees real quick. Been a tough run here lately for the Yankees, as tears run down my face. The great Marcus Stroman has been released. Last time I checked, nobody's bothered to pick him up.
Nope.
Aaron Judge has come back, and you already mentioned that his batting average is plummeting.
Yep, dropped a little bit in his return.
And then, of course, over the last week, this could be the best of all. The Yankees were swept by the Marlins for the first time ever. Now, I have to admit today, I was really on my computer. I had it sitting over to the side while I was watching other stuff. But I was watching that Rangers-Yankees game because I was begging for the sweep. I was begging the baseball gods.
Please, sir.
Please, Bruce Bochy, this is his year, right? He was off last year. They're supposed to be on this year.
Right.
That's his pattern.
This is Bochy's year.
Right. Couldn't quite pull it off.
Not quite.
So the Yankees are still, right now, the final wild card team. But it actually brings me a little tingle of joy, makes my nipples a little hard to say the Yankees are on the edge and could potentially drop out of the playoff picture in the American League by this weekend.
Yep, because they've got the same holes that they had in the World Series last year.
And the thing is, the big problem they've got right now, Aaron Judge comes back, but he's got the elbow issue, so he can't play the field. So he has to DH. We also know their other big slugger is a China doll and can't play the field.
Yep, Stanton is about useless.
So they have to make a decision every night
who's
now.
Who's going to DH, who's playing first, or who's riding the bench?
Who's riding the bench.
Ooh.
Yeah, they cannot play Stanton and Judge in the same lineup right now.
Tee-hee-hee-hee. They playing the righty-lefty?
And I listen to all the New York sports media talking, well, we've got to really give Aaron Boone a chance. You've been giving him a chance for how long? Since you pushed Joe Girardi out of the city. Joe Girardi, 10 times the manager. All Aaron Boone does is give people stupid nicknames. Hey, we're getting Judgy back today. Yeah!
Okay.
But unfortunately, Gio's going to have to sit on the bench. He's worthless. And Cashman, for all the money and all the capital he's had to work with, not a great GM.
No. What if it's been very, very bad.
So to summarize,
a lot of money flushed down the toilet in New York.
To summarize, as of this moment, Yankees suck, Mets suck, Maestro happy. Let's move on to the greatest sport, even though it is soon to be taken away from us, unless you have a shit ton of money, and that would be the NFL. We are back with preseason games. Last Thursday was, of course, the Hall of Fame game.
Meh.
I watched 5 minutes.
That's 4 minutes more than I did.
Wanted to see O'Marion Hampton. That was my one thing as we prepare for the fantasy draft, which, by the way, kids, next week's episode will be your full annual recap of the Sports Frenzy Fantasy Football Draft, which we're holding this coming Monday. By the way, Dave, have you heard about the new fantasy football format? Which I can't wait to indulge in. Guillotine leagues. Have you heard about the guillotine leagues?
No.
You draft. No kickers, no defense. It's all offensive players.
Okay.
You get one extra bench player than you would normally, but you don't have to draft kicker or defense. So 14 rounds. I believe it's a 16-team league is the normal way to play it. Might be 14. You draft, and then every week, the lowest point total out.
Wow.
And then their players go back into the pool. Yeah. They're on the waiver wire.
Wow.
So can you imagine if the team that had the lowest point total had like Jamar Chase?
Oh,
and the feeding frenzy, because it's not waiver. They give you fake money. So you have to bid.
Oh, jeez.
And so you go through the entire season trying not to be the worst. And then every week you'll go out there and you bid for whoever is back out there now, the stud players that were on the team that got eliminated.
So you have an X amount of fake money they give you for the year.
Yes.
And you have to
budget,
manage the salary cap.
Yes. You have to budget. I'm loving this idea. I'm going to jump in on one of these.
Damn.
Now, I'll probably get eliminated in week 1. No. I think I could last at least half the season.
That's an intriguing prospect.
So, because I'm a very frugal person. So, and what are the odds that if you've got one of the top players, you're going to lose right off the bat?
You never know. Think about it, though. The first 4 weeks, your top players, they're not playing in any preseason games. So those first 4 weeks are literally preseason games for most of your big teams. They're rusty. They're not going to perform. Look how bad it's been the last few years.
Yeah. True.
So you could be looking at, I've got this great team. They're all rusty. They haven't played. They're all out of whack, and they get nothing for you.
And see, I've already done a little reading, a little research on it. They tell you, don't think about anything beyond week 1. Don't pick a guy who you think's going to be a starter in week 9.
No, you need to hit right off the bat.
Take everybody who you know, to the best of your knowledge, is going to start in week 1. Because that's what you need.
Yeah.
And
it's not, this isn't, Guillotine League is not the long game.
No. So, I'm going to get in on this. Might do it this weekend, and I'll let you know on Monday when we draft how it went.
There you go.
Because, again, my first mock draft, I got a D, which was bullshit. It was a much better team than that. Anyway. Dave, I got a trivia question for you. Since we just had the Hall of Fame game, result, of course, was the Chargers destroying the Lions in a game that didn't matter at all, 34-7. Since it was the Hall of Fame game, and we had these new inductees, pretty underwhelming class in my opinion, get in. What is the team in NFL history that has the most Hall of Fame players? 41. 41 players for this team. Now, I will give you a hint.
Wow.
Keep in mind that means that they only had to play for a team for a year. It's not like in baseball where you choose the team you're going to wear the cap for and all that.
So it could be a guy who's played for 5 different teams.
Correct. And it counts for all 5 of those teams in terms of this particular question. 41 Hall of Famers for this team.
Have run through the organization.
Right. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Come on, you're overthinking it.
Probably the Bears.
Correct. Jared Allen.
Yep. Julius Peppers.
Yep. But Jared Allen this year put us over the top. Yep. The Bears. 41 Hall of Famers.
Have run through Hallis Hall.
Yep. Orlando Pace.
Yep.
Some guys you do not think of as Chicago Bears.
Nope, they could have just been there for one season.
Yep. All right, in other NFL news, all of this very interesting, and a lot of it impacting fantasy football. We're waiting to hear from the league about Rashee Rice, the dynamic young Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, and what potential suspension he could get. However, the hammer has dropped on another young wide receiver.
Yes, the Vikings receiver, Mr. Addison. 3 games for violating the substance abuse policy over his DUI.
Yep, a 2024 DUI for Jordan Addison, and he got 3 games. So I've got to imagine Rashee Rice gets at least 3, if not more.
Should be more with the seriousness of what it was.
Again, different rules for the Chiefs, though.
This is true.
2 superstars. We go through this every year. 2 superstars requesting trades. Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys, and of course Terry McLaurin
from the Commanders.
We might have even mentioned McLaurin last week. Nothing has been resolved on either front, and of course Jerry Jones had to get in front of the microphones and
be an idiot.
Yes, and when asked if he expects Micah Parsons to be ready and in the lineup for week 1, he says, of course not. Way to go, Jerry. Way to go.
Jackass.
And somewhere on a boat off the coast of Florida, Jimmy Johnson is laughing his ass off.
Yes, he is. Oh, God.
Now, to me, technically, this would be the 6th quarterback on the roster, but because Deshaun Watson is not expected to play, so he's going to be on the injured list. The Browns have signed a fifth quarterback.
Oh my God.
To their active roster.
This is so fucking pathetic.
Because, of course, and Shedeur Sanders will be starting their first preseason game.
Yeah.
Now,
is that good or bad?
A lot of that's got to do with, number one, they're protecting Joe Flacco.
The old man.
And then, of course, Kenny Pickett's hurt.
He's got the hamstring issue.
And Dylan Gabriel's hurt. So, by default, Shedeur Sanders will start the first Cleveland Browns game. But as insurance, Tyler Huntley is the fifth quarterback on the active roster for the Browns. And again, we're not even counting Deshaun Watson.
So bad. So bad. How many ways can they Browns themselves?
I'm telling you, it is going to be a fascinating run to the bottom between the Browns and the Saints.
Stefanski has got to be clamoring to get the fuck out of that deal.
I guarantee you he'll be hired in a second. People know the shit show he's had to run there.
Yeah,
and he's done an unbelievable job.
Owners are a joke.
No. If it wasn't for the fact that we got Ben Johnson now, I'd take Stefanski in a second. Over the years, ever since Sean McVay took over, very successfully with the LA Rams, the one thing that has always been a little bit fuzzy is that we knew who the top receivers were. But he always liked to play this little coy game with his running backs. You know?
Yeah, you never know.
Remember Cam Akers?
Yeah.
Oh, Cam Akers is going to be the next big thing. Out of town. Well, now he is committed to Kyren Williams, formerly of course, Notre Dame. Kyren Williams got a nice 3-year, $33 million extension. So there is no doubt in L.A.
who your number one back is going to be.
With the Rams, right. Of course, we have to qualify it because there's two teams in L.A.
Speaking of the other one, doesn't the tide seem to sort of be turning back from this running back by committee, slowly coming back to one main back?
I think teams want that, but there are some who just still aren't completely sold on the one guy. I think you're right. I think they would prefer to have the one bell cow back. And look at Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I've heard now, wants to go with a 4-back committee.
You can't get anybody in a rhythm.
Because they're not 100% sure about Tank Bigsby. Etienne has not been good the last 2 years.
No. And
they got a couple rookies sitting there.
The more running backs you have, that makes it that much more difficult on your offensive line to have to know how to block differently for the different styles.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir. You look at the best situations in the NFL right now. Derrick Henry with the Ravens, you know he's getting the ball. Even in Chicago, it's pretty much DeAndre Swift by default.
Yeah.
So, and I think coaches like that. They can worry about other things.
Yeah, the line doesn't have to worry.
Obviously, defending champions have got Saquon Barkley. They don't have to worry. There are roughly a dozen teams that are fully 100% committed to one guy. And then it gets hazy.
Yeah.
Then, of course, speaking of the other Los Angeles team, the LA Chargers, you could see this coming a mile away, especially after the retirement of Mike Williams. Keenan Allen is coming back to the Chargers on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, that reeks of desperation.
Yeah, it does, but
he's a reliable receiver.
He knows the system.
Yeah. He's
fairly well. I mean, it's technically
different, but at least he has a rapport with Herbert.
Yeah, he knows Herbert. He doesn't know Harbaugh.
Right.
So partially, kind of, sort of, he knows what's going on. I think, I'm not going nutsy cuckoo about this, but this was the best they could do given the situation.
Yeah.
This is what the signing they had to make after Williams retired.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to college football. Real quick, one thing to discuss, and that would be the preseason coaches poll has been released. And number 1 is Boise State. No, just kidding, kids.
No.
Nope, number 1 is Texas, followed by Ohio State. The interesting thing, now, of course, the AP poll is the one everybody really cares about. But just based on the coaches poll, week 1 will be phenomenal because you have got 3 games lined up in week 1 featuring top 10 teams.
Yep.
Number 1, Texas, at number 2, Ohio State.
That's a barn burner right off the bat.
Number 9, LSU, at number 6, Clemson. And then, of course,
number 5, Notre Dame, at number 10, Miami.
Hey! You keep that attitude going, buddy. And when Carson Beck throws 5 touchdown passes against you, and the Hurricanes are rolling down through South Beach, baby. Boy, that's going to be... what a weekend that is going to be.
That's going to be that should be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I would be more worried about it if it was up here, a few miles away from our wonderful studio. That would worry me more. Down in Miami, I'm feeling a little bit better.
You always feel a little better at the start of a season.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if Carson Beck takes his nil money and buys a couple Lamborghinis.
And
I don't care.
wraps him around a pole.
I don't think that's the only pole he's spending money around, to be honest with you.
Probably not. South Beach, come on.
Yeah.
He's making it rain on a nightly basis.
As long as his head is in the game when that clock starts, and we can put the Fighting Irish behind the 8 ball right away.
Get it out of the way early.
Oh, kids, you don't want to miss the show after that. The first show of September will be a doozy as Dave and I recap that game, along with, of course,
one
the
of
other
us is
two.
going to be pissed. The other's going to be dancing on the other's grave.
I think there's actually a third option. What if this is like a 28-27 classic where both teams look good?
That's an entire possibility.
You know, so whoever loses doesn't take the big hit in the polls, and whoever wins, of course, all of a sudden gains more respect.
Is Notre Dame's defense still going to be as good as they were last
year? That's my concern. That is it,
Notre
man.
Dame's defense was stellar last year. They lost a few guys, but they also had key injuries for most of the year, and the younger guys got some pretty good playing time and stood tall. Now, is Miami's defense
They can't, Dave. They can't be any worse. They can't be any worse.
I mean,
they've revamped the entire staff on the defensive side.
My concern with Notre Dame is we lost Al Golden.
And that's going to the pros real quick. That's another reason why I think people are overstating. You know, the Bengals defense is going to be bad again. No, you got a different coordinator now.
You have a legit coordinator.
He might actually do things differently, put guys in different places, so maybe they actually have a mediocre defense at least.
Yeah. It's
not going to be phenomenal. It's not going to be top 10.
But they're not going to be as bad as they were.
Right. And, of course, Al Golden is a common bond we have between Miami and Notre Dame. Oh, yeah, we got weeks and weeks of build-up for this. But, yeah, I think you're right. The main concerns in that game are going to be both defenses. Is Notre Dame defense is their defense going to be as good as last year? And can Miami's be better?
Yeah.
I think the offenses are capable of scoring points.
Yeah, but we're going to have a first-year starter.
And we got Mr. Lamborghini. I talk a big game about him, but he does worry me a little bit.
There were a lot of cracks in his facade at Georgia. He did lose his starting gig.
Yeah, and he is no Cam Ward.
No.
There's not another Cam Ward. So I am definitely tempering expectations in comparison to last year. So yeah, it's all about the defense. The defense has got to be better for Miami, and as a Miami fan, I have to hope Notre Dame's defense isn't as good as they were last year.
Yeah.
And like you said, losing Al Golden, that might hurt a little bit. Oh, and by the way, going back to the NFL for just a second, the Buccaneers signed Teddy Bridgewater.
Back up.
Yeah. That's fine, I guess. Let's put it this way. If he makes it onto the field, the season's over.
Yeah.
Because that means Baker Mayfield has been hurt. And they're not going to make it through without Baker Mayfield.
Exactly.
And that's fine because that's the same situation as probably 25 other teams in the league. Because how many teams have really good backups?
Not very many.
I mean, Cleveland's got 4. But all right. Some other miscellaneous news, and then we'll get to basketball, and we'll get to NASCAR. Yes, we're still going to talk about ESPN in depth later, but I do want to point this out. This is almost a little bit of a minor league, we fucking told you so. Shannon Sharp. Way to go, Shannon. Settling the sexual abuse case that we detailed here recently might have cost him over $100 million. And we're not talking about the amount he settled on to pay. We're talking about
his
he lost
salary, endorsements,
and his podcast was up for renewal, and now that's up in the air. So people are estimating that this little debacle, because again, he doesn't have any impulse control. He is not a good person.
No,
I'm sorry, he's not. He's not. $100 million or more lost.
Because he's an idiot.
All right, the NCAA tournament. Thank goodness. At least we got a little bit of good sports news for you this week, but it probably won't last. But
Nothing ever lasts.
At least for 2025, 2026, the tournament will stay at 68 teams, will not expand this year.
It doesn't need to. It didn't need to go to 68. 64 was fine.
Well, you know it's going to go the other way.
I know.
It's not like it's going to contract.
No, because that would be the smart thing to do.
And then we do have some hockey news. I didn't know what to do with this. It's not a dumbass segment or nominee. It's just a very bizarre story. Up in Alaska, the Kraken were doing a promo video shoot to help out a youth hockey organization. So one of their players, I believe, was out there fly fishing, and they, for some reason, decided to put their mascot, Buoy, out there.
Baba Booey?
Yeah, where's the Baba Booey idiot from golf when you need him, right? One time we actually could have used him.
Baba Booey, run!
But I know, it's a podcast, it's an audio-only podcast, so you guys will have to do some digging on YouTube. It won't take you very long. But
Baba Booey, run from Boo.
The Kraken mascot had to run in the middle of this stream from a brown bear who was being very aggressive.
Yes. He did not like Baba Booey.
It is one of the most bizarre pieces of video you will ever see. Number one, having this full getup, the mascot getup out there in the middle of an Alaskan stream while these guys are fly fishing is bizarre enough.
The mascot is wearing waders.
Yeah. But then as the camera turns and you see the brown bear
charging across the stream. Oh, God.
I'm telling you, kids, it's priceless. Nobody was hurt. The brown bear did stop and turn away at the last minute. But it could have...
Probably, with Bowie's get up, the mane, it may have thought it was another bear.
There had to be some kind of visual cue for the bear.
Yeah.
Had to be something.
You're in my fishing territory.
Maybe he thought it was a big fish.
Potentially. But
yeah, it's amazing video, so I highly recommend you get out there and check out that video.
You know, maybe Yogi thought Bowie was boo-boo.
All right, and one other thing in hockey before we move on. When will Colin Kaepernick leave my life for good? Forever? This reminds me of O.J. Simpson.
The war that won't go away?
Just when you thought O.J. was gone, next thing you know, he's busting into Las Vegas hotel rooms and fighting over memorabilia. And Colin Kaepernick, along with Marshawn Lynch, are going to help out August 16th in Toronto for a tournament, a hockey tournament. Okay? Since we're talking about hockey, they're helping the Hockey Diversity Alliance, whose goal is to eradicate racism in hockey.
So how about you get minority hockey players to participate? Why are we going to NFL players to help with hockey?
Well, and my other point will always be, then why don't we do this for basketball? You know,
promote diversity in basketball?
Yeah, how about that? Wouldn't that be something? But no, we can't do that. But yes, we have to have a Hockey Diversity Alliance featuring, as you said,
NFL players.
Two idiot NFL players. And then now I was going to, if we were going to do dumbasses this week, I was going to put this one in the dumbass nominees. But I wasn't sure who the dumbass is. I think it's the PGA Tour. So you know, in the PGA Tour, and I know we've been covering golf a little bit more than normal this year. But now the FedEx Cup playoffs start this weekend. The final events of the year.
Right.
And then whoever wins the FedEx playoffs gets a huge paycheck. Here's the thing. This weekend is the tournament at the TPC Southwind in Memphis. Okay? And our favorite golfer, Dave.
Ratface
Rory McIlroy has found a loophole in the system.
Of course he has.
He's skipping the tournament altogether because he doesn't play well at Memphis.
Oh, too fucking bad, you little bitch.
But here's the thing. Because he has so many points entering the tournament,
he can skip one.
He has created his own playoff bye week. And there's nothing the PGA Tour can do about it. So instead of the 70 golfers that are supposed to be teeing up at TPC Southwind this weekend, there's only going to be 69 because Ratface Rory found a loophole.
Because he's a little bitch.
But in the end, if it was a dumbass situation, wouldn't the PGA Tour be the dumbasses?
For not closing said loophole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want your best golfers to participate, You need to put the mechanics in place to ensure that it happens.
Yes. So yes, I agree with you completely. Rory's a little pussy for doing this, but it's within the rules. So in the end, this is...
So it's still... No, you don't play. You don't gain any points. You flatline.
Well, no, he won't get any points, but he'll still make it to the next round because of the fact that I believe he was third. He was third in points coming into the playoffs. Even without getting any points for this tournament, he will still make it to the next round.
Bullshit.
I don't like it either. I think it's absolute garbage.
So
can you imagine that?
So what if this would have been the next to last?
Again, it depends on how many points he's accumulated. And
what if he missed a cut?
Well, here it's a good question, because what if he were to play this one? Maybe he doesn't like the next course. I think the next course is, I don't know, it's the BMW Championship, I think. But what if that was the course he didn't like, and he was okay with Memphis, so he plays this one, wins this one. Can he skip next week and then move on? That's a good question. They've got to close these loopholes. It's very simple, PGA Tour. If you make the FedEx Cup playoffs, you have to play in every
tournament.
I mean, how hard is that? How hard is that?
It's not rocket science.
And of course, Rory McIlroy, the poster child for pussies all over the world, has to be the one to find the loophole and take advantage of it.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. He's in his own head.
Now, I do have one little tiny Frenzy 5-0 notification. Our patrol has checked in. And this is another person I can't stand. She is so arrogant. Sha'Carri Richardson. One of the greatest track and field female runners in the world, arrested for 4th-degree domestic violence at the Seattle-Tacoma airport.
Yep, she and her significant other were in an altercation, verbally. He tried to walk away. She kept it going, pushing and shoving him throughout the airport.
And then, of course, he has to come back. Oh, no, you shouldn't charge her. Don't. Battered spouse.
Yep.
Battered spouse syndrome right there.
Yep.
Don't make me go home to her.
Just separate us for the night. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Sounds like On Patrol Live to me. Although they wouldn't go anywhere near Seattle. Although they were in, what was the one area of Washington they were in last year?
Yeah, I can't remember where it was.
Huge meth district. But then again, you're talking about the ridiculously liberal Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Basketball, more crazy money, Dave. Getting shelled out in the NBA. 3 more new contracts for you.
Stupid.
De'Aaron Fox.
Who?
Traded from Sacramento to San Antonio this last season. Gets a 4-year, $229 million extension with the Spurs. Mikal Bridges. And he's being lauded because he took less money than he could have. He took a 4-year, $150 million extension with the New York Knicks. And the best one of all, Luka Doncic. Got his 3-year, $165 million, bless you.
Thank you.
Extension with the Lakers. The worst part of this, now, of course, we all know, we talked about this, when he was traded from Dallas to the Lakers, screwed out of a bigger max extension he could have gotten if he'd stayed in Dallas. Here's the thing that pisses me off beyond belief. Dallas said part of the reason they didn't want him is because he was lazy and out of shape. Notorious for going out and partying, drinking beer, fattening himself up. Now I believe he was just on the cover of like Men's Health or Men's Fitness.
Yeah, he went on a monster diet.
Now my fitness matters. Now I care.
Oh, in L.A.? Okay. Now image is everything in L.A.
See, he's a bitch too. And I'm sick. He's got that stupid grin on his face all the time. I don't like that guy at all. Don't like him at all.
Yep.
He's always got that stupid little grin on his face. Yep. He's playing everybody. And he's in the perfect city for it.
Yep, the city of fake people.
And of course now they're saying the next big quest for the Lakers is we've got to find a superstar who will take over when LeBron retires.
Gee, didn't you just sign him?
No, they need two. They need two, Dave.
Okay. Whatever.
My disdain for the Lakers, while it will never reach the heat of 1,000 red-hot suns like for the Yankees or the Dallas Cowboys, still hate the Lakers a lot. A lot.
Maybe 900 red-hot suns.
But think about it. The Yankees despise the Yankees with a passion.
Absolutely.
They've got to be number one. Dallas Cowboys number two. And that's mostly
Dallas is number two.
And that's mostly because the media shoves the Dallas Cowboys down our throats.
Yeah, they are not America's team.
No.
The vast majority of America hates the Cowboys. Wants nothing to do with them on Sunday afternoons or any other time for that matter.
But yeah, I think Lakers would be third on that list. Lakers would be third. And then we move over to the WNBA. Oh boy. Now, good for the Fever. The Indiana Fever, 17-13. Caitlin Clark is still out, but the team is playing well without her, so all the critics of Caitlin Clark are going, we told you so.
She's not that good, blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, the Connecticut Sun were just sold for a record $325 million.
Good God.
I'm pretty sure that's a record. And they're going to move to Boston in 2027. Which makes sense. Put them in a bigger market.
Yeah.
But the big story of the week. Sorry, that's why I keep chuckling as I talk about the WNBA this week. Not once, not twice, but 3 times over the last week, including the Fever game last night, we've got dildos on the court, people.
I knew about the first 2.
Yeah, last night it happened again.
Was it another lime green one?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. And I think Sophie was the closest one to it. The great Sophie Cunningham.
Oh, God.
I love her. God, I love her for many reasons.
She's pretty and she doesn't take shit from anybody.
And she gets it. She gets it. She kind of laughed it off. But, in one of the cases, one of the earlier cases, they found the person that did it and they're facing charges. But here's the thing, kids. Once you do something in this world nowadays and you get attention,
then
everybody's going to want to do it.
Yep. You got the copycats.
Yep. So all we can say here at Sports Frenzy as a public service announcement for the WNBA is please don't throw your dildos on the court. Unless they're big and black. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh, by the way, Sophie Cunningham, there are rumors that the WWE's going after her and wants her when she's done with basketball to become a professional wrestler.
Because of her trash-talking abilities?
Well, plus she's very athletic.
Yeah.
You know, the WWE's got like NIL money out there for college athletes.
Well, there you go.
That's how they recruit. So, I could see Sophie Cunningham. As long as she could do a couple flips and somersaults, they'll put her right in. Look at Mongo. Mongo made it.
Mongo was an athletic beast.
Oh, how dare you disparage my Sophie like that?
She's
the next future ex-Mrs. Crane.
Number 5 in line?
I don't know about her. I think she's been a little bit used and abused. I don't pretend to want the chaste virgin-like woman, but at the same time, I bet she's got some stories to tell.
She's got some things to teach you.
Oh, I didn't look at it like that.
Come on!
All right, let's move on to NASCAR and racing this week. Now, before we get into NASCAR, we'll start off with our weekly public service, telling you who won the F1 race this past weekend, the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that would be one Lando Norris.
So the teammates are still going back and forth.
And what did I see? Lewis Hamilton is all sorts of messed up now, and he's begging his team that he just switched to.
Ferrari?
Yeah, to dump him because he's no good.
Gee, how about maybe you've lost your edge there?
And that's all you get. Now we move on to NASCAR, the stuff that matters. As I was telling Dave off mic, as I watched Iowa this past weekend.
Corn. Nothing but corn 350.
I was just thankful I remembered through some part of my brain, some part in the back channels of my brain was telling me, mute it, put on some music and mute the race. And then when I actually wandered out to my neighbor's house to watch it, I remembered why. Because Lee Diffie is doing the play-by-play again.
Not good.
Good Lord. And then on top, this we'll bring this up now, but it could really tie in to what we're going to discuss in last call. NASCAR has announced there will be no playoff changes to the Cup playoff format until at least 2027. Why? Because they couldn't arrange a meeting with NBC soon enough in order to get things finalized before they had to announce the 2026 schedule. So now all of a sudden NBC, yes, we know NBC airs the playoffs, whether it's on USA or Peacock
or whatever.
But because a meeting couldn't be arranged between NBC Universal and NASCAR quick enough in August, that means they could not finalize changes to the playoff format. Because everybody's now, remember years ago, Dave, when Matt Kenseth was the pariah because he won the championship, but he didn't win enough races. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't think he won a race. And he won the championship because he was consistent, which is what you want to be.
Well, now the new pariah is Joey Logano. Because, of course, Joey Logano won the title last year, but everybody's complaining. The stat geeks have pointed out that I'm going to paraphrase here. I believe he had the lowest average finish in the 10 playoff races of any champion since the playoff format has been instituted.
Yeah, well, you get what you get.
Somebody's got to graduate last in medical class. Right?
Exactly.
But they just
stop. You never should have done the playoffs to begin with. The system was not broken.
Now, the one good thing that could come out of this is that they're talking about, instead of a one-race shootout, to go with 3 or 4 races, a cumulative total.
It's the entire fucking season.
I would welcome them to go back.
And they've got it set now. Oh, a bonus point for leading a lap, a bonus point for leading the most laps. You had 2 bonus points available per race. Now, with the stages and the extra points for winning, it's in place. Let it ride for the whole season and see what happens. Forget this bullshit playoff thing.
Well, you know what's going to be the big criticism of this once we get a couple races into this year's playoff.
Oh, Shane Van Gisbergen got in just because he won the road courses.
Right. And Chase Elliott's up in the top 3 in points, and he's dropped all the way back now. That's not fair. Because Chase Elliott is not winning. He's won 1 race.
He's been consistent.
But you don't want that. You don't want that. No. You don't want that, because you had that with Matt Kenseth, and you've pissed on him ever since you set up this playoff format. So now the Golden Boy he's not winning. He's consistent, but he's not winning, and guaranteed that's what you're going to hear. Why is Chase Elliott starting behind Shane Van Gisbergen? That's not fair.
Idiots. You never should have fucked with the original system. I will say, I like the extra points for a win.
Yes.
I like the stage points.
Yes.
Leave the fucking playoffs alone. Get rid of them. Let things ride for the season.
Or, here's an idea. You do your little reset after 26, like you said, based on stage wins and race wins. And then you just let them run 10 races.
And
no cuts.
No cuts, just let the top points run it out.
Let the top 16, right? That's how many make it.
Yeah.
Let the 16 run 10 races. And let the chips fall where they may. None of this 3-race cut. Screw that.
Yeah. There's too much crap that can happen to get cut. You could have your leader get caught up in somebody else's bullshit.
Especially if you're going to put a super speedway as one of the races. You should give them a chance to make that up.
Exactly.
And that has always been a problem with the playoff format, is when that round comes with the super speedway in it, you know you're going to screw a couple guys.
Yep.
Because they're going to get caught up, like you said, and that's going to cost them moving on to the next round. Doesn't matter what they do in the other 2 races, unless they win. Of course, if they win, they move on.
They move on up, but no. Stop the cuts. Let them all run, and wherever they finish, they keep accumulating the points as is, and there you go.
Yep. So, of course, that would lead us into our recap of corn, and more corn. The Iowa Corn 350 from Iowa Speedway. So Chase Briscoe is now the new Joe Nemechek?
Yep, he didn't qualify, but...
Yep, Chase Briscoe with his 6th pole of the year, but in a very terrible graphical representation by NBC in their first race back, or USA, I should say, right? It was on the USA Network.
Yeah,
They kept telling us, William Byron can't make it on fuel. William Byron doesn't have enough fuel.
We've had this all fucking season. Stop with the fuel graphics. You are creating a story that isn't real. You say, oh, they can't make it there. How did they make that fuel mileage? Oh my God, it's a miracle. Stop. It's made for TV bullshit.
Completely agree.
Just stop. Make it go away.
We were basically being lied to.
This is a WWE antic right here.
The only person that I could believe could make 10 laps on a shot glass full of fuel is Brad Keselowski. If his name is not Brad Keselowski, then you're lying to me. He's the only guy I know who's been able over the years to manage fuel better than anybody else.
Denny does a fairly good job as well.
He does, but Keselowski's always been the best.
He's always been good at fuel mileage.
Yeah. And Byron, he can't make it. He wins.
Just get rid of that graphic. It's bullshit.
So William Byron wins at Iowa. A late season win for him. Very shocking.
Yeah, that does not happen very often.
No. So in a rare week where none of our expert panelists got any bonus points or any wins, we move on to race 24 of the NASCAR Cup season this Sunday, August the 10th, 2025. Go bowling at the Glen.
The very fast road course.
Watkins Glen, of course. Now, I got to tell you a little story. Good story. I got almost identical messages, emails from two of our panelists, Sam and Nick. And they just made me laugh.
Why can't I have a fourth SVG?
No, they had. What they both sent me was, I'll take Shane Van Gisbergen like everybody else this week.
But not everybody else could.
Because there are people who've maxed out. And then we have one bold panel member who's going with somebody else, even though he had an SVG left. Now, Mrs. C has not got her pick in yet, but she's still got time. We do have 5 panel members taking Shane Van Gisbergen.
That would be you, me, Sam, Nick, and Doug.
Doug! Thank God!
Doug got a clue.
Thank God! As I said last week, Doug, just win another race. I'll forgive you the fact that you're not in the top 10 in points if you get 2 wins. Please.
If Van Gisbergen wins, Doug and I will both have 2 wins.
Yeah, but you're way ahead on points. You're going to get the bonus points for first place. And then you're going to get stage points, too. So you'll still be ahead of him. It's just the gap will shrink.
Yeah.
Aaron, one of our panel members, along with Mrs. C, who had maxed out on Shane Van Gisbergen, and I will not shed a tear because I believe both of them went 3 for 3 with wins with Van Gisbergen.
Yes,
so
they did.
I'm not going to cry for them. But I give Aaron's paying attention now. I now, with this pick, firmly believe he's paying attention.
Connor Zilich,
who, when he comes up next year full time,
is going to be a force.
He's going to be the guy to challenge SVG on all these road courses, and obviously will probably do it this week at Watkins Glen.
What was it at? Was it the last one, Sonoma? In the Xfinity race, Zilich got the better of him.
Yep. And we'll see, of course, where Mrs. C goes. Bill, I don't understand what he's doing. He had an SVG left and he decides to go with Ross Chastain.
Interesting.
I was almost thinking I was going to have to make a very difficult decision. I had a feeling, just a slight feeling, that once he saw my pick, because I send my pick as a double blind backup to you and him.
Yep.
Once I sent out my SVG pick, I could almost hear it coming from Chicago. Oh, fuck, what did I do? Can I change my pick? And I was going to tell him,
Nope.
Once you see somebody else's pick,
you cannot.
No. Not going to let it happen. But he didn't. So he's sticking with Chastain. And we will see again where Mrs. C goes. And these picks will all be posted Thursday afternoon on our Facebook page. But again, 5 SVG picks for Kev, Dave, Sam, Nick, and Doug. Aaron with the very clever pick of Connor Zilich. And then Bill out there with Ross Chastain.
He's out there in the melon patch.
All right. So now we're going to wind things down here. A very different way to end the show. We do not have, at least to my knowledge, any moments of silence.
I did not see anything.
In the world of sports. Let's see, we've covered the trade deadline. We've covered dildos on the court. We're not going to do dumbasses. So that leads us into our epic last call, where Dave and I are going to spend some time here discussing the end of sports. Because of...
the deal with the Devils has been made.
Now, our last call here, of course, revolves mostly around ESPN, but there are other things we're going to bring into it as well. If you have not heard by now, the Rat, their sports leg, ESPN, has acquired the NFL Network, the Red Zone channel.
Extra games per season.
3 more games per season. They've got a Super Bowl coming up, and they've also acquired NFL's fantasy football. Now, in exchange, the NFL gets 10% equity in ESPN. This sounds unbelievably hinky to me.
Yes, it does.
Now, we just talked about racing. I want to tie this in as well, and then we'll go from here. Fox Corporation bought 1/3 interest in Penske Entertainment, which owns IndyCar and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Again, where is the conflict of interest with these transactions? Yes, they do have to go through approval.
They do need approval, but there's this is very monopolistic.
The other details involving the ESPN operation tie into the ESPN streaming service that will launch August the 21st for $30.
Not going to happen.
Now, normally this part I would save for the weekend edition, but the WWE has now gotten into bed in this mess with ESPN. Starting in 2026, Peacock will lose all of the premium live events they've been showing for the last 4 or 5 years. They will go to the ESPN streaming service.
Ugh.
WrestleMania,
SummerSlam,
all of it,
everything.
It's now going back to what it used to be. It's basically going to be
pay-per-view.
Guess who ain't watching wrestling anymore. That would be this guy, pointing at myself.
I am not shelling out $30 a month to ESPN.
And by the way,
and I don't care if they wind up putting the Super Bowl on that bullshit, I will not fork it over.
Now they have said that they will not, for the foreseeable future, that will also be shown on ABC. So at least the Super Bowl is not going pay-per-view yet.
Wait for it.
But how about the news on the weekend edition last week we reported, where Peacock decided to jump up their price $3 a month, and then this hits? You think I'm paying $11 a month for Peacock?
For the NBA?
Without WWE? You can kiss my ass, is what you can do. Between WWE and On Patrol Live, that was like 90% of why I had Peacock. And then you should have waited a week, Peacock, and then you should have just shut your mouths and said, we just want to keep our subscribing base.
Yeah, no shit.
You have made a fatal mistake, Peacock. I would be shocked if you don't lose 30 to 40% of your subscriber base over the price increase and losing WWE. But that leads us into our bigger rant, our bigger last call. What does all of this mean for the future of sports? And I'm telling you, it's not good.
Ring the death knell. The death bell tolls right now. This is the beginning of the end. People don't want to pay all this much money.
So are we looking at a potential monopoly with ESPN?
That's where it's going.
Because I don't see how I would even consider this streaming service and keeping YouTube TV, which is my provider. You have what, Xfinity?
Yeah.
There's no way I'm paying for both.
No.
No way in hell.
Guess what? Sports don't mean that damn much to me to have to fork out that much more damn money.
I am hearing that from a lot of different people. Where all these networks and all these studios seem to think that we can't live without sports, so they're going to keep raping us. Not only if you want to go see it in person, what it costs to get a ticket, what concessions cost.
Parking.
Now you're going to make it so we can't even watch it at home affordably.
Nah. I got better things to do. I got better things to spend my money on.
I look around the studio here, and I see a lot of DVDs and a lot of Blu-rays.
And a lot of books.
That I can read, I can watch. So, you're not going to outsmart everybody. And I guarantee the two men in this studio right now, you're not outsmarting us. So, ESPN, you can kiss my ass. The Rat, you can kiss my ass. Peacock.
Roger Goodell, fuck you.
Yeah. And Hunter Helmsley in the WWE, fuck yourself too. It's amazing how you want to go back in time to go back to a pay-per-view model when everything else, prices go up and they never come back down. But now you want to go back to the past because it's more lucrative for you. You moved Raw to Netflix. You're going to basically destroy Peacock. I hope you're all happy. Because I'm with Dave on this. As much as we love talking about sports here,
as much as I enjoy watching sports, I am not paying anything fucking more.
It's called, as we like to say, principalities. There's only so far you can push us. There's only so far you can take advantage of us before we go, no more. And this is the point where we're saying no more. And I swear to God, if I have to deal with another price increase in the next month or two from YouTube TV, because ESPN's going to try to jack their rates up to cable providers and streaming services, bullshit, then your prices will go up, mine will go up, and we're going to get to the point where we're going to dump it all.
Yep. Don't want it. Don't need it.
And again, some of us were smart enough to prepare for this, as I have one of the greatest, most glorious movie collections of all time, and I know Dave's is pretty goddamn awesome as well. We got things we can do. You know?
I've got other hobbies.
So this is fair warning to everybody out there in podcast land. If you weren't aware of what's going on over the last 48 hours with this, be prepared.
Take notice.
And don't be one of those people, you see these stupid ads. How many streaming services do you think you have? How many subscriptions do you think you have? I don't know, maybe 3? No, you've got 47. But Rocket Money will help you cancel all of them. Don't be that person.
Know what you have.
And don't pay for this shit. Don't be the person who pays for subscriptions and doesn't use them. It's not that hard. You take one piece of paper, you write down what you got, how much you're paying for it, and when it hits your bill. And you look at it every month and you go, that just went up, I'm getting rid of it. And you take a big red pen and you cross it the fuck off.
And you wait until they offer a great deal and you have another email address to get the lower rate.
Don't give the people all of our secrets. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out.
No.
But yes, you do have to have multiple emails.
Multiple personalities help too.
All right. I think we got our point across. Do you think?
I think so.
But again, final warning. This is the end. This is what we've been predicting for years and years. And unfortunately, sadly,
apocalypse is coming.
It's finally come to pass. We are going to have to all make tough choices. We're going to have to find other ways to amuse ourselves.
But don't abuse yourself.
Yeah, but that's free.
This is true.
That's free.
All you need is an internet connection. All you need is an internet connection.
Yeah. Yeah, ladies, don't waste your dildos by throwing them on the WNBA court. Or men. Oh. Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, that's your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador Dave Height.
That's your Uncle Kev, the Maestro Kevin Crane.
We've done all we can this week to straighten you up, show you how to fly right, beat the man. We can't do any more. Until Saturday morning. The Saturday morning hangover cure. You love it. You know it. You need it. The weekend edition coming this Saturday morning, August the 9th.
We've got Honeymoon Suite's new album we're reviewing. Wake Me Up When the Sun Goes Down.
We've also got a review of The Phoenician Scheme, the latest movie from Wes Anderson.
I have a book, The Children of Eve.
And I will review the first season of Untamed on Netflix. We will also catch you up on the premiere on Hulu of King of the Hill. We'll, of course, discuss as we wind down Resident Alien. Sadly, as you're listening to this, the final episode has aired. We got a whole bunch. I've got to review SummerSlam again.
I've got a bonus review on the movies.
There you go.
Playing catch up.
So, oh, that's right. That's right. You have that bonus review. I know what that is. Yes. All right, kids. You will not want to miss the weekend edition. This is going to be fun, fun, fun till Daddy takes the T-Bird away. And then, of course, 4 weeks straight after this weekend, concert reviews. So, we are good to go for the weekend. We hope you will be in somewhat of a coherent mode. Fry up the eggs, the bacon, get the coffee, the aspirin. We will do this again for you in the pop culture realm this Saturday the 9th. Otherwise, if for some strange freaking reason
you don't like pop culture, we'll see you in a week.
And those are probably the people that are going to pay $30 for ESPN, the app. Shame on you. After everything we just did for you.
Alas.
All right, say goodnight to the kids, David.
Good night to the kids, David.